Hi guys, once more, how are you doing? First of all, thank you for all of your comments, your reactions, the questions that I got privately, and I invite you all to subscribe on my channel and follow me on Facebook as the link that's written in the beginning. Today I have chosen the subject of the history of Egypt and how it was. In fact, most scholars and Egyptologists that say that the Egyptian history extends back to the year 3200 BC. But the fact is, this is the end of an era. It's not the beginning of the Egyptian history. The life of Egypt started before this with several years. The new fossils and the excavations that ran in the middle of Egypt and the delta proved that Egypt dates back to the 40 or 41 millions BC, and this is was found from the excavations and the evidences that we have found and the remains of animals, birds, plants, and all of other stuff. All these were happened in El Fayoum in an area called Wadi El Hitan. Here, the idea of this introduction is to show that the prehistory life or the prehistoric period ended in 3200 BC and not started in this. Wadi al-Hitan is the most important site in the world to demonstrate one of the iconic chains that make up the record of life on the earth. The evolution of the wheels, it portrays their form and mood of life during their transition from land animals to marine existence. In fact, it exceeds all the values of other comparable sites in terms of the number of concentration and quality of its fossils and their accessibility and the setting in an attractive and protected landscape. There are also some other shark teeth that have been found. Formation dates back to 40 or 40 million years ago. Wadi al-Hitan or the Wheels Valley, which is located in Fayoum, is usually in having such large concentration of fossil wheels. Around 1,500 marine vertebrate fossils, the skeletons have been found in a relatively small area. All the fossil replies are represented by fossils of crocodiles and sea turtles and bones of the sea snakes have also been recorded. There are many species of bony fish, sharks, and rays represented, but most of the fossils are isolated small teeth, and these are not often conspicuous. Larger fish fossils include the rostra and the bigs of swordfish. A swordfish rostrum of 1.8 meters long is laid out in the bark. Fossil shells are not common in the main wheels-bearing rocks, but are very common in other rocks. This was at the beginning of the Egyptian life, and this is the oldest excavations we have found, or the oldest ones that we have found in Egypt. But the written history of Egypt starts from 3200 BC. The history of Egypt of this era, it extends back to the 4th millennium BC, and this is at least And the earliest record shows that it was divided into two lands. If you look in the map now, you are going to see the two kingdoms exceeding south and north. The city were served as the locus of a solar cult and center of the astronomical observation. Upper Egypt stretches south along the Nile Valley towards Aswan, while the kingdom of the north, Lower Egypt, occupied a marshy delta in the north. The site of today's Cairo, situated between these areas, witnessed a long drawn struggle between the two kingdoms, concluded only in 3200 BC with the conquest of the delta by the king of Upper Egypt. Ancient Egyptian legend tells of a king called Menes who made this unification possible and was able to conquer the delta and merge the two kingdoms in one nation. Egypt is a land of extreme geographical contrast, recognized by the names that ancient Egyptians gave to their dramatically opposed areas. The narrow strip along the side of the Nile Valley called Kemet, which means the black land, and it refers to the agricultural area, while the inhospitable desert was Desert, which means the red land. Often in Upper Egypt, the desert reaches the edge of the water. Upper Egypt and Lower Egypt were united in 3200 BC, and this was symbolized in the depiction and scenes of the ancient Egyptian temples, and usually we find the scene on the chair of the king, which represented the throne, and this was called the Sematawi. And the Sematawi is a scene depicts, as you can see now, it depicts the two images of the Nile god Hapi binding together the papyrus and the lotus, the symbol of Upper and Lower Egypt together. Though each one has its regalia. The red crown represented Lower Egypt and its symbol was papyrus plant, while Upper Egypt was represented by the long white crown and its symbol was the lotus flowering one. The combined red and white crowns became Shinti, means the double crown. Both lands could also embodied into the two ladies, that cobra goddess Wajid and the vulture goddess Nekhbet. Both of the two ladies were thought to protect the king embodied in the double crown he wore. Guys, that was the first part of the Egyptian history, and willingly that we are going to talk about the dynasties and the skeleton of the Egyptian history in another video. And the next video will be about the pyramids and how did the ancient Egyptians could build those massive constructions. I wish you have enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. All these details will be found in the description. I wish you have a good day from Egypt. Bye bye.